you are going to jump out because when you begin to, your efforts are not making so much progress, you are going to dash out because the money may not come that same day you buy the birds or you started training the birds. So the money is gradual. Even sometimes it takes time to start making money. So if the passion is not there, it becomes very, very difficult to engage in any profitable venture. So that's what I want to say there. So poultry farming refers raising of birds domestically or commercially, primarily for meat and eggs, but also for feeders. In this part of the country, I don't think that this one is rampant, raising poultry for raising birds for feeders. But in overseas is there, okay? They even use it for ornaments. So poultry farming involves raising of domestically or commercially, primarily for meat, birds, okay? So it involves chicken, turkeys, and chicken, peacocks, and even ostrich. When we talk about poultry, people think it's only raising chicken. No, it's not just about chicken. So most of these birds may be classified as economic value or purpose of egg or meat, while some of them can also be dual. They can be used for egg production or meat production, while some of them are dual. Example is Noila. Noila can be used for, Noila is good for meat production, it's also good for egg production. So because of raising income and urbanization, there's a favorable atmosphere for development of poultry sector. And poultry sector, as it is in our country, is one of the fastest growing segment of livestock. Everyone, if you go to the street, man, I was asking somebody, will farmers make it this time? Because it's as if the market is saturated. You know, everybody is going into it. But later we are going to see the benefit of it. Why people? Because it is the easiest, livestock to go into. It's the easiest livestock breeding to go into. So a lot of people are going into it. So later we are going to see the benefit of it, and it's actually contributing a lot in the economy. So for every process of poultry business, adequate knowledge on various aspects of poultry production is very much needed. And thank God for today, and thank God for the technology we have at our disposal. We can get the knowledge we want as long as you have the time and you want to, take advantage of technology. The other day in the group, there was an argument that broke up in the group. People were saying that before you enter into poultry farming, you should go for training. People say it doesn't matter, just start. Man, you have to train. You have to train. When we say you have to go for training, we don't mean that you go and enroll in the University of Ibadan or University of Nigeria and Soka for that purpose. That's not what we are saying. But thank God for today that we have access to technology. We have Facebook. We have. Are you there?
Yes, we can hear you. Please,
Okay.
Mrs. Blessing, please mute your
We have
mic. Thank you very much.
we have Facebook. We have YouTube, and we have
Please. Mrs. Blessing, please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Thank you.
we have Facebook. We have YouTube. We have the internet to surf. When I wanted to go into poultry farming, it was passion first. I had the passion. So the second thing I did was I invaded the internet searching for information. In short, I had to take excuse from my wife. I told her from so time to so time, just don't bother me because I'm going to go fully uh, in search of information. Because for such information, I was starving her of time. I didn't spend a lot of time with my wife, so I was actually desperate for information because I know somebody like me, before I start something, I must go into research. I must research and know what people that are profiting from that venture, what did they do, and what should I do and be like them.
Hello, sir. Mr. Charles, are you there? Mr. Charles, we can't hear you. If you are still talking, we can't hear you.
One carton, I started, the
Hello, Mr. Charles.
hey, I'm receiving echo here.
All right. Okay, okay. Please let us all mute our mics. Please let us mute our mics
So, so the
and enjoy the session, please.
they say raising birds without adequate information. If you do that, man, I'm telling you, you are going to be frustrated. Though you are going.
Mr. Charles, please, we can't hear you. Is it your network?
Mr. Charles, are you there? We can't hear you. Hello? I think he's off the call. I think he's having network issues. Hello, Mr. Charles. Okay, let me try to reach out to him. Okay, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, please try to speak so we can hear you. We can't hear you. Your mic is mute.
Hello, are you there? Hello, are you there now? Okay,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay. So in Nigeria, they will ask you, they even mix the breed name and the hatchery name. They will call, what's the name of this broiler? They will say agrited. Agrited is not the name of a broiler. Agrited is the name of the hatchery. Are we getting that? So if you know this is it will be good. So before I went into research, I just call it agrited. There's nothing like agrited. Agrited is the name of a company. Okay? They agrited, they have other breeds also. They have Rose 308, they have, I think, Arbor Plus. So when you say agrited, you have to mention the name of the broiler. Rose 308, okay, the hatchery is agrited. Even Said also have agrited, all right? So don't just say agrited. No, that's nothing like agrited. That's nothing like agrited. You have to say uh, Rose 308. Then which hatchery? You said agrited. Now let's talk about this. We have COP 500. Okay, COP 5. Don't say it's Zatek. I hear people on the group they say Zatek. That's nothing like Zatek or Olims. There's nothing like Olims. Their Olims, what they produce is COP 500. So the broiler they produce is COP 500. You know that Obasanjo, there's no broiler called Obasanjo. It's Marshall. That is the kind of broiler they produce, and the other hatcheries that are, in Nigeria. So I want to correct that misconception. Okay, there's nothing like Zatek. Zatek is COP 500. There's nothing like Agrited. Agrited is the name of the company. The name is Rose 308. Rose 308. All right. So let's see the most available ones in Nigeria. Let's talk about Rose 308 and the COP 500. If we have time, we can proceed and talk about those ones. When you want to go into poultry, you must know the kind of, you must select the kind of breed you want to rear. Okay, you must select the kind of breed you want to rear. And this breed, you don't just go into the market and buy broiler. For example, broiler. You don't go into the market and buy broiler. No, you must buy broiler based on what they can give you. During the rainy season, what kind of a broiler are you going to buy? During the hot season, what kind of a broiler are you going to buy? But no problem. If you can condition, if you have a good facility that can give you the atmospheric condition anytime you want it, it's okay. But sometimes the climate, the atmospheric condition of a place can affect the chicken. Okay, it can affect your poultry farming. It can affect your poultry. So that is why it's very important. For example, when you want to raise chicken with a fast growing rate, with very high feed efficiency and excellent meat quality, you can go for Rose 308. In 5 to 6 weeks, you can start selling. 5 to 6 weeks. But after 5 to 6 weeks, Rose 308 will not grow the way they were growing when they were 6 and when they were 5. It's like they are stunted, but they can still grow more if you keep them. But if you want fast growth rate, you need to go for Rose 308. When you manage it well, at week 6 and 7, you are already selling. So by six weeks, 70, some of them already, if you feed them well, if you see them well, okay, by 6 to 7 weeks, you will get an average of 2.6 and above. You can even, if you feed them well, you can get you can get more of the, more weight. But one the disadvantage of this Rose 308 is it is sensitive to heat. It is sensitive to heat, and it can also tolerate cold better than heat. That means when the atmospheric condition is low, or when the temperature is very low, like in the rainy season, like in the hammer time, you can go for Rose 308. And the hatchery that produces Rose 308 is Agrited and Said as well. Now let's take a look at Cope 500. Cope 500, it can give you fast growth rate and feed efficiency and excellent meat quality and attain good weight at 7 to 9 weeks. Now, Cope 500 grows taller than Rose 308. It grows very tall, but it can also, if you want to keep the broiler more than 8 weeks, go for Cope 500, because at that 8 weeks they will attain their maximum growth. All right, they will attain their maximum growth. So Cope 500 gives you fast growth rate and feed efficiency and excellent meat quality and attain good weight at 7 to 9 weeks. It grows taller than Rose 308. So, but one disadvantage about Cope 500 is they are very sensitive to cold. You see, the Rose 308 is very sensitive to heat, while Cope 500 is very sensitive to cold, and is also more prone to CRUD. That is why there was an argument on the group. They said that Zatek is prone to CRUD. Is not Zatek. It is Cope 500. That is the how the breed is. The breed is prone to CRUD, but it tolerates heat better than Rose. All right. So it depends what you want to do. Don't just go to the market and say, I want to buy Zatek. Why do you want to buy it? Okay, I want to buy I want to buy Cope 500. Why do you want to buy it? Rather, I want to buy Rose 308. Why do you want to buy it? You must have these things in mind before you stock your poultry. Okay, before you stock your poultry. Now, the one we want to talk about again is before I jump away from here is hatcheries, Amo, Chi, and Fiden. These hatcheries also produce. Say what's your broiler? Your broiler's name? You say it's Amo. No, it's not Amo. It is Amo Acre. Okay, is the hatchery that produces it is Fiden and Chi hatcheries. Also Amo hatcheries. Okay, I have talked about Obasanjo Marshall. So the two well-reared chicken in Nigeria is Rose 308 and Cope 500. We have other ones like Marshall. Yeah, we have other ones, but they are not actually popular. Okay, uh-huh. So let's move away from here, and I will come back to here. I will come back here again. So let's quickly look at the causes of early chick mortality. The things that can cause um, early chick mortality. Okay, let's talk about it because this is one of the things that discourage farmers. In short, if not that I was so passionate about this, I would have been discouraged. Now was the time the first time I bought turkey, I ordered 10 foreign um, turkeys. Okay, although I shared it with my friend, but all of them died. All of them died within 3 days of arrival. All of them disappeared. All of them died. So I was a little bit discouraged. I told my wife, because of the passion I have for this, I'm not going to let go. So that's why it's very important for you to have uh, passion before any other thing comes in. When the passion is there, you will strive, you will push, you will not throw in the towel. Okay? But when the passion is not there and the money is not coming, man, you are going to run away from this venture. So that's the way it is. So let's look at let's run at this. Let's look at the what causes early chick mortality. One of genetic cause. The second one is management cause. How you manage your poultry is very important. Nutritional causes. You have to give your poultry the best. Give them the best. Don't go and mix things by yourself. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. There are people who already they are already gurus in this system. They can formulate their own feed. All right. But if you are just a beginner, you don't need to go and formulate your own feed. All right. All right. Don't just do that unless you have somebody who is going to help you to do that. A professional who is going to help you to do that. But it's advisable for you to buy feed from professional feed makers so that your birds will not suffer. All right. Another one is disease. Disease. If you manage your if you manage your pens well, if you manage your poultry well, the issue of disease will not be there. You know, the other day we were talking. I think it was in this training last time. Somebody said, "Why are we always talking about how to cure a particular disease? How to cure a particular disease? Can't we talk about how to prevent it?" I found out something. Most of these diseases are preventable. Okay, they are preventable. If you are able to take care of your manage your poultry very well, clean it very well, give your birds good drinking water, give them good feed. See, you have solved the problem almost 88% or even 90%. Okay, you have solved the problem. Even if you take care most of the time, why chicks mortality rate increases so high in a particular poultry is because of poor poultry management. Poor, poor poultry management can cause early chick mortality. Poor poultry management can cause early chick mortality. Okay, so genetic causes they are there. You may not do anything about this because is that one is hereditary from the way that is why when you want to buy your day old, make sure that you are getting it from a reliable source like Afrimash. Afrimash is before I came to Afrimash, people have already recommended Afrimash. So don't just go out there to buy any day old. Make sure you are buying it from a reliable source like Afrimash. There are other people out there too, but make sure you you can vouch their integrity, or people can vouch for them. Don't just go there and buy any day old. All right? Yeah. So let's talk about temperature in your brooding room. Okay. High brooding temperature is very dangerous for to your flock. Too much heat makes chicks dehydrate, to which they consume more water every time. You see, so you have to uh, make sure that the temperature in there is at the right degrees. Uh, I also advise you to have a thermometer in your poultry house where you can regulate the that can help you to regulate the temperature of that place. I think old chicks they have a standard temperature. I think 33 degrees Celsius the first day, 33 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, you can check it out. It's a standard figure. So you can just check it out on the net. It's about 33 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius on the first day. Then after every week, if after every week you continue to reduce it. After 1 week you reduce it by 5 degrees. After 1 week you reduce it by 5 degrees until you get to 27. I think 26 to 27. As I said before, this is a standard information. You can Google it and get it. So you make sure that your brooding room, the temperature at the brooding room is very very okay. See, low brooding temperature causes chilling and prolonged exposure to cold, and it can directly impact the immune system of the flock, thereby making birds vulnerable to disease. So that's why it's very important for you to make sure that the temperature is adequate. All right, and when the temperature is too high, it makes the chicks to dehydrate, and they will start consuming a lot of water instead of eating feed. They will start consuming a lot of a lot of water. So it's very important that we make sure that the temperature at the brooding house is very very okay for the chicks. Now, another thing we're going to look at is litter contamination. Litter contamination. I know it's a very crucial aspect of poultry farming. Okay, crucial litter contamination. You have to make sure that the litters are not contaminated, because when the litters are contaminated, like the sawdust or your wood shaving, they can be very very harmful to your birds. They can be very, very harmful to your bird. Now, another you have to also look at starvation. So you have to look at starvation. Starvation is another cause of chick mortality because young chicks do not have fast storage to fulfill body body need temperature. So when the chicks starve, when they starve, it will affect their temperature. But when they eat well, they will be able to regulate their temperature. In short, it is said that during cold time, the chicks they eat a lot so that they will use the energy from the feed to use it to regulate uh, their body temperature. So it's very important not to starve the birds. If you starve them, it will affect their immune system, and they can easily catch disease. They can easily catch disease. So let's look at selection of poultry specialization. When we talk about poultry, some people think it's just about rearing chicken. But in the poultry industry, it's a broad specialization. There are many subsectors in the poultry industry in which one can go fully into. You see, so we are going to look into them. It's not just rearing of birds. There are other segments, other subsectors that have to do with poultry farming. So if you cannot be in one, you can go to another. Okay. So when poultry farm is mentioned, most people do misconstrue the meaning. Some might just think it is chicken rearing or turkey rearing, even rearing of turkeys or guinea fowls. It's not just that alone. Poultry farming is a very wide agro business with different sectors. Some of the sectors in the poultry business include chicken breeding. You see, it includes chicken breeding. It includes I'm getting some echo here. It includes chicken breeding, meat production, poultry feed, poultry feed production, those that produce feed, poultry marketing and consultancy. I met a young man from Anambra State. I was discussing with him. It was on the phone. So I told him that, you know, after a long discussion, I asked him, where is your farm? He told me that he doesn't have a farm, but he specializes in poultry marketing and consultancy. That's what he was. That is the thing that is giving him his own money. He doesn't breed, okay? He's not into meat production or egg production. He just poultry marketing and consultancy. So it's also an aspect of poultry. We have egg production. We have transportation. Those people that Afrimash used to transport day old from Ibadan to this place or anywhere in Nigeria is part of it. So they are earning their own income through transportation. So just you can look into it and know where you fit in. Anywhere you fit in, you can just stay there. Okay, you can just stay there. So it is very important that before you start a poultry, as I said before, you know what you want. You know whether you are going to raise broilers or whether you are going to raise layers. Broilers is mostly for meat production, while layers is mostly for egg production. All right. So before you go into poultry production, you must know exactly what you want. What do you want? Okay, these are the decisions you must make. These are the decisions you must make. These are the things you must conclude on your own to know the area where you want to branch. You want to rear, you want to raise broilers. What kind of broilers do you want to raise? Is it 308? What is the atmospheric condition of your area? Is it
Okay.
500 you want to raise?
Sorry, sir. Sorry for cutting you short, please. This meeting will end in 15 minutes. So I'm going to send the link of the new meeting to the chat box.
Okay.
So please, everybody, you will once you get the link, this meeting will end in 15 minutes now. So I will send the link to the new meeting to the chat box. So after like 10 minutes, we should move to the new meeting. Hope we all get me.
Yes.
So I'm going to
Okay.
share the meeting link now to the chat box. Okay, I'm not going to share it now. I'll share it like 10 minutes to go, since we still have a little time here. So once it's like 7 minutes to go, I will share it. So please, once I share the link, it will be in the in-call messages where your messages are here in Google Meet. You will go to the messages and click the link and join. I will also share on the group also so that we can all join. So in the next 7 to 8 minutes, I will be dropping the link. So, Mr. Charles, you can continue. So, in the
Oh,
next 8 minutes, we are going to leave this place. So, I'll be dropping the link now. So, you can continue while I quickly
oh,
work on the dropping of the link. Thank you.
okay. I said poultry farming is very vast. I've been able to mention the area where you will want to join, or that is okay for you if you want. All right. I also say that before you venture into poultry farming, you must conclude in yourself where the kind of breed you want, whether it is layers or whether it is broilers. If it is broilers, you're gonna also decide the kind of broilers you want, whether it is Rose 308, whether it is Cope 500, or any other breed. So if you decide that, and before you decide that, you don't just wake up and decide. You decide based on where you are coming from, the atmospheric condition of your place. Like Rose 308, is very good in. They can absorb cold. Okay, they can do well in cold areas. While COP 500 can also do well in places that are very hot. So before you choose, you have to put these things into consideration. Another thing to put into consideration is your startup capital. Okay, I don't want to say much on this because I believe that you must have settled that in your heart before you start. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want to advise how you can set up your capital, how you can raise up your capital, but you can raise up your capital through savings. Long-term saving, you can raise up your capital. There are also some banks that can give loans uh, for such startups. They can give loans for such startups. Poultry farming is very capital intensive, though you can start small. It depends on the scale you want and the location of your farm, and the technology you want to use, and the technology you want to use in your farm. So it can be, as these things begin to come in, your location and the management technology, as they come in, the startup capital investment will increase. But if you just want to start up a normal poultry, the startup capital investment will be low. So it depends on what you want. It depends on the. I mean, there are some there are some poultry you will enter. You will know that a lot of money has gone into it. There are a lot of technology, automatic stuffs going on there. Things are moved mechanically, electrically. So those kind of big poultry. So you know how much you have to start those kind of big poultry. But you can start anywhere. The truth about this, you can start anywhere. And let me tell you something. It is profitable. Poultry farming is profitable. If you are not profiting to it, people complain about feed. Remember, if if the cost of feed rises, the cost of selling chicken will also rise. If chicken was sold 1,000 last year, when feed were sold for 15,000, you cannot sell the same chicken for 1,000 this year. It's not possible. So you must know the marginal point. You must know the breaking point where you are making gain. That is why it's very important to keep your farm record. You need to know. You cannot just say, okay, I want to sell 500. I want to say, some people in the group, they will come and say, okay, I want to, how much can I say this? No, no. There's other group I am. People will come and say, okay, I have this and this. How much can I sell it? You can't ask how much can you sell a particular bread when you know the how much you have committed in one. You must have your farm record so that when it's time for you to sell, you'll be able to know exactly how much you will sell in sell one bed. Okay, so you don't have to say it's not profitable. It's very much profitable, because as the cost of feed increases, the cost of buying one chicken also increase. It increases.
Okay.
They are
Thank, thank you very.
startup capital. Yeah. So startup capital is there. It's also very what another thing to look out for is where you locate your farm. A good location and housing system is vital to the success of your poultry farm. It's very important. A poultry should be sited where there is a large availability of cheap land. You know what I mean by cheap land? You don't go to anyway. Let me say here, if you can afford land anywhere, it's okay, but it's very good because of ventilation. It's very good that you site your poultry farm away from the busy uh, uh, streets and busy cities. Locate it away where lands are cheap and available. Also, but not far from the area where the population density is very high. Not far from the main city. Okay, because if it's far from the main city, the problem of transportation and marketing becomes will be there. So not in the city, but a little bit outskirts of the city. All right. So it's very important to locate it where the population is dense. All right. So another thing we're going to look at into is farming equipment. To set up a poultry, you must you know, invest in the poultry house, you must invest in feeders, you must invest in drinkers and all other equipment. And you know what? Before you invest in these things, you need to do a research. You do a research because there are a lot of feeders in the market. There's a lot of drinkers in the market. So you need to do a research. That's why it's very important for you to have a mentor, have somebody that have been into the system for a long time. It will be very easy for you. Okay, it will be very easy for you. They will just tell you buy this kind of feeder, buy this one, use this one, use this, don't use that. Okay, like when I was consulting my, and again something I didn't mention. Please, if you want to start a poultry, don't start in a large scale. Don't ever start in a large scale. It doesn't matter how you think you have learned. Don't start in a large scale. You know, I started by five. Oh. I started by five. Me and my wife, I will be training those five. Every day, I will spend time with them, watching every move. In the night, I will wake up. I will go and watch them. I want to know how they. I want to know how they feel. I want to know everything about them. I was not interested. I was not actually interested in raising them and selling them. No, but I was watching every move. From five, we bought 20. You know, we graduated from 20. From 20 we expanded our the facility where they were staying. The facility that accommodate up to 80. From 80 we have bought two plots of land for this. We have bought two plots of land for expansion. You see, we are gradually taking it from one step to another, and in a short possible time we will also reach to a mechanized system of poultry farming. But it's just one step another. We started by five. We bought five. We are practicalizing what we studied, what we read, the research we did. We are practicalizing from five. We bought 10. From 10, we built a facility that could contain up to 80. From 80, now we bought a land. A big two plot of land that's for this. Okay, so we are moving from gradually. So don't just hear about poultry farming and you buy like the other person. There was somebody I saw her write up on the internet on Facebook, and she just heard about that poultry farming is very lucrative, and she went and bought 100. In short, one said he bought 1,000 birds and all of them died. 1,000 for a start and all of them died. No, it shouldn't be so. The other day I saw a young man that bought about is it about 700-day old chick of turkey, and the other day he was complaining that all of them have died though. Maybe he's just a beginner. No, don't start like that. Don't start like that. This poultry stuff is not something you rush. See, if you rush into this thing, no, that's every tendency that you rush out to. Take it easy. Learn from it. That's why I'm here. I'm in Afrimash group to learn too. Because I find out, do you know what I find out? You can't stop learning. No. If you think you have known it all, that's one you will buy. That's a particular batch you will buy like this. Things will just change. You will do all your best. You will do everything you know how to do it. And still, they will be dying. Still, they will be dying. And you're like, what? Like there was the day my wife was telling me, we have done everything we're supposed to do. We have practically done everything. We even boil water for them. Our day old, we boil water for them. We keep them in a good environment. We've done everything, but then we are dying. But I told my wife, that means there's an information we have not gotten. Anytime you are doing this thing and it's not aligning, no, there is something that you don't know. Information is power. And that's why we are here in Afrimash to get that information, because what you don't know, another person knows it. By the time you add the one you know and the one that another person knows, you find out that, you'll be moving forward. So I want to let me digress a little. Let me jump. Just jump 14 ways to reduce early chick mortality. With this, you can ask your question. 14 ways to reduce early chick mortality. I'm going to rush in this. If you're recording a high mortality rate in your poultry farm, it is alarming, okay? It is alarming. And you need to take appropriate action. Failure to do so can cost you all your investment. It can cost you all your investment. Now, if you are recording high mortality rate in your poultry, don't think that it's not from you. Don't think that it's not from you. Don't feel that it's not from you. There's something that you're not doing right. When I bought turkey and all of them died. Last week we are doing this training. Last week we are doing this on training. The brother that took us on turkey rearing, he said something. Immediately he said something. I picked it up. I knew why. Now I know why the old turkey died. You see, it's just a little thing, a little mistake. It's because of the information I didn't know caused all the investment to go down. So that's why we are here, because there are a lot you need to know. There's a lot you need to add to the ones you know. In this business, you can't know it all. I'm telling you the truth. With the little experience I have, you can't know it all. So we continue to learn every day. We continue to research new ways. So 14 ways to reduce early chick mortality. One is by buy chicks only from trusted suppliers like Afrimash. Afrimash. Buy your chicks from trusted suppliers. Don't just go out there to buy. There was a time, we bought a particular cockerel. When we were learning, we bought a particular cockerel. All of them died. And we find out that it's from the supplier. All of them, they were just died. We did everything we could. They were died. But we found out that it was from the supplier. So it's very important for you to align your poultry. Okay, get your poultry from those trusted suppliers. I know Afrimash is one of them, because the problem begins when you buy poor quality and unhealthy chicks. Because most of the health problems affecting birds are due to low genetic background. Okay, so you have to make sure that you buy from a trusted supplier. Another one is inspect the health status of your poultry. Inspect it. Don't just go there. Take time to inspect how the birds are eating, whether they are drinking water, how they are relaxing. Study them. Okay? If your birds are healthy, you will know. You just know they will be active. Okay? No matter how reliable your supplier is, it is always advisable to inspect each bird's health. Okay? And before you even transport them, if you can do that, I know it's a very big work for those who are getting it in large quantity. Okay, who are ordering in large quantity like 2,000, 4,000. Begin to inspect the health of each day old. But on the Facebook, I saw a particular poultry that was doing it. They were up to 5,000. They were inspecting the day old before they take them to the farm. They were inspecting each one of them. It's a very big work anyway, but it's doable. It's doable. So if people can do it with 5,000 day old, 5,000 birds, then you can do it with your 30. You can do it with your 100. Inspect them. Inspect them one after the other. Now, I have said this before, make sure you provide them with adequate brooding temperature. Is very important. You see this one? That is the first thing, You must provide them with a very good brooding temperature. Okay? Let them feel a hold. Let them feel as if it is their natural habitat. Now, protect your flock from cold weather. Still the temperature we're talking about. You must protect them. You must keep drinkers and feeders clean, very, very clean. Keep them very clean. Minimize the risk of suffocating chicks to death. All right. Sometimes chicks they suffocate to death, especially when they feel cold. They will cluster together. The other day, one of my bird died because of they were clustering together. I found out there was no adequate brooding temperature. And one of the ways you will know is that when your birds start clustering together, you know that they are feeling cold. So you can increase your source of heat. Okay, you can increase it when they are running away from the source of heat. You know that the heat in the brooding pane is high, so you can reduce it. So these are the ways you can regulate the temperature in the brooding area. All right. So you also need to prevent your farm from infections and disease. You see, you can prevent them. Also, it's very important to vaccinate your bird. Vaccinate them. Okay, but I hear people talk about organic way of rearing birds, but it's okay. That is good. But I don't think that is rampant now, and most of them have not been tested. I think it's try and error. So, but the synthetic way have been tested. You can go for that, and especially when they are already sick, don't go for organic medication. Don't go for organic medication. You can do organic for prevention, but when they are already sick, please go for synthetic. It's advisable to go for synthetic. Don't feed your birds with moody feeds. Moody feeds can be dangerous and poisonous to your flock. Feeding your birds with moody feed can lead to severe problems such as poultry disease. So keep your feed away from water. Don't allow it to be soaked by water. Now, another one is that the day of the arrival of your day old, serve them water before before feeding them. Serve them water with glucose, all right, and tonic. As I said about vaccination, make sure that you vaccinate them. Now, I think Afrimash, when you order chicken from Afrimash, they will give you a vaccination schedule. Follow it up. Follow it up. And again, is protect your farm from predators. Protect them from predators. A woman one day was complaining that about five of her birds were killed by rats. You see, this kind of loss is not good. So you need to protect your farm from predators. A complete protection from snakes, from pussycats, from rats, okay, so that they will not have access into your poultry. Then regularly clean your dirty poultry pens. Clean them up. Make sure you clean them. And lastly, supply sufficient feed to your birds. Make sure they eat. Don't just mix anything and bring for them. Okay? Make sure that one thing about this, if you get it right, it will show on your poultry. It's not magic. If you get these things right, if you look at your poultry, you will know. You will see it. But if you are not getting these things right, it will still show. It will show in the health of your bed, and you will know that that's something you are not doing right. Either you are not cleaning well, or there's something you are not doing well. But at every time, make sure that you keep your uh, poultry pens clean. So I want to stop here because of time. You can And again, lastly, please let me just say this before I stop. Before I stop, let me just say this. Make sure you
Mr.
have
Kunle, please mute
a
your
vet.
mic. Thank you.
Are you not hearing me?
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Make sure that you have a vet regularly to check your flock. If the person cannot come regularly, let the person be someone you can run to when there's an outbreak or when there is a disease in your farm. Make sure you have a trusted, a professional vet that can be able to take care for your flock anytime there's an outbreak or anytime you need medical attention. It will also help. Thank you so much. Let me have your question.
All right. Thank you very much. In fact, I really enjoyed today's session. It was very practical, and I believe that we all can testify to the practicality of this session. Everything was just straight to the point. The build up, the down to the discussion and down to the end, and him ending it with 14 ways that you can take care of your poultry and all that. It was very wonderful, and I believe that we all have enjoyed today's class. So we are moving into questions. I can see that people are already raising up their hand. So please, if you have questions, raise up your hand and I will take it one by one. Please, we don't want to see you putting your videos on because it will affect the network. And please do not unmute your mic until I tell you to talk, please, so that whatever question you ask is not just for your benefit, it is also for the benefit of others. So when I tell you to talk, you will unmute your mic, you will talk, and you will mute. For those of you that don't want to talk, maybe you have a very nice voice and you don't want us to hear it, you can send your questions via the chat box and I will read it to our facilitator. So I'm going to start with Mr. Abubakar Musa. So Mr. Abubakar Musa, please let us hear your question. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome.
I have just some few questions to ask. You said roll 308 is good in the cold weather, and you said the name of the company that we can get it from, so I missed the name of the company. And then I believe code 500, you said Zatec or so, right?
Yes, is Zatec.
What of the 308 is which company?
Agrited.
Yes,
Sayid also hatch 308, sorry. But popularly Agrited is the one that does that.
So is it roll or code? Roll 308 or code 308?
Rose, ROSS.
Okay.
Rose 308.
So number two question is, you said Moody Fits. What's that, Moody Fits? You said in your rules of...
Moody Feed is like when, for example, water touches the feed, and the feed will be like they are swelled up. Okay, there will be mucor on the feed. So those mucor breeds kind of virus and disease there. So you don't allow water to touch your feed. In short, it's not even good for you to store feed for a long time. Okay, don't store your feed for a long time. If you store it for a long time, disease may permeate it. So that's why it's very good that you give them fresh feed. You also have to protect your feed from water, like rain, like water touching them, so that they will not swell up, they will no mucor, they will eat fresh and good feed.
My other question is, a friend of mine who is into the business told me he takes the first 2 weeks. You have to, the first week you vaccinate Gamboru, right? Second week is Lasota. So he said he doesn't do it in the first week. He waits for the second week and do both of them at a time. don't know if that is appropriate or not.
Now, I'm not a vet. I'm not a veterinary doctor. But what I want to tell you is this: if you order from Afrimash will give you a vaccination schedule that you will follow. And I want to advise you to follow those schedules. Follow it.
Okay.
Then, if you don't want to follow it, you can go to your vet. Okay, he can advise on how to follow it. But if you order from Afrimash will give you their schedule. Is there? They will just give it to you. They will send it to your email so that you'll be able to follow it adequately.
Okay. So I based in Abuja, but I'm about to start my own somewhere around Suleja.
Okay.
So where do I get Afrimash in contact with them?
Okay, Mr. Abubakar, are you on the community page?
I just registered for your meeting today and I joined. I don't know the community page.
Okay, so
Is it on
I'm
WhatsApp?
going to send yes, it's a WhatsApp community. So I'm going to send the link of the community pages right here so that you and I can talk later. Afrimash, we deliver nationwide. So if there's anything you need, we are able to meet your need. So I'm going to copy the link of our community page and share. So you join. So when you join, I should be able to know. Should be this the name you use for your WhatsApp also?
Yes.
So I'm going to reach out to you privately so we can discuss about the things you need on your farm.
Okay. Last is the last question. Sorry, please, everyone. The last question is: I was expecting maybe you can tell us estimating probably like if you have 100 birds, this bag of feed they will need like 200 or so, something like that. Like give us an estimate the feed we need for like let's say if I want to take my birds up to 4 weeks, 6 weeks, like 500, how many bags can it take me up to that? Estimating it so that you have an idea of business you are going to and how much are you going to invest.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, but it differs because of waste. It differs from people to people. But I'm going to tell you on the average, for 100 birds, then you can use this to calculate it down or up. All right, for 100 birds, you can use up to if you avoid waste. If you avoid waste, you can use up to 16 to 18 bags of 25 kg. But you can use more than that. If you don't know how to go your way, you can use up to 21. You can use up.
That's for how many weeks?
For 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks. All right, because with agreed, you can by 6-7 weeks you can start selling. By with agreed 308. All right, 308 agreed. You can start selling by 6-7 weeks. Agreed rose 308. You can start it. It has a fast growth rate. By 6 to 7 weeks, you can start selling.
6 to 7 means that means it's heavy and big, right?
Yes, if you feed them well, you can achieve up to 2.6 kg on the average, or even that. You can even surpass it, depending on how you are feeding them.
Okay, what if my market target is the suya people, the shawarma people, and the event organizers people? And mostly they go for 4 weeks birds. Are they mature enough to go for 4 weeks? The aggregate?
Yes. By 4 weeks they are matured. So if that means if you sell by 4 weeks, that means you have less feed to feed them, because by that time you must have save a lot of money from feeding.
Yeah, because in your conversation you always say 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Yes, so I was thinking maybe 4 weeks they are not matured enough, because from other people that I noticed, they sell their birds to the suya people, the shawarma people, and event people mostly at 4 weeks, and which is still a very good size.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you want to feed them and sell them at 4 weeks, I will advise
Yes.
them. I will advise you to give them quality feed. All right, give them quality feed and feed them day and night.
Yeah. Okay.
Though there are some time you can go blank, as in you remove the light for them. From two,
Yeah.
you can decide in 24 hours, you remove light for 2 hours or 3 hours, highest 4 hours. Then the other hours you feed them. All right, feed
Okay.
them. If you feed them like that in 4 weeks, you will get the needed required growth rate.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar Musa. So I'm going to be dropping, okay, I've dropped a link for a survey, and this survey is for you to tell us about this meeting and what do you think we can do to improve this meeting. Because if you don't tell us, we may keep doing the same thing and you will not like it. And I'm sure nobody wants that, right? So all you need to do is you fill the link of the survey. Oh, I want Afrimash to do this, do this, do this, do that, do that. So you're going to tell us in that survey. So I've sent the link and I'm going to resend it again. Also, I'm also going to drop the link to the community pages, livestock and poultry pages. For those that are not there, you can click and join, and also share to your friends that are farmers also to join there, so that you can be part of the community. You can drop your questions on the community and people can answer you. All right. So moving on to the next person, Mr. Mr. Abubakar Musa, you can mute your mic now since you are done so
Okay.
that others can enjoy. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Itiolu Elijah, please go ahead to ask your question. For those that drop their question via the chat box, I see everything and we are going to attend to them before we leave. So, I see them. Thank you. Mr. Elijah, please let us have your question.
All right, thank you very much. I want to appreciate Mr. Shas for the beautiful and comprehensive lecture. So, well, my question is just simple. Uh, Now, you mentioned something about checking the health status of our affairs. I mean, the day old. How can we check it? Now, secondly,
Come
you are,
again.
I said you mentioned about checking the health status of our day old chicken. What we
Checking what?
introduce them. Health status. I mean, whether they are
Okay.
okay or not.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So how do we check it? That's number one. Then number two. Now you have talked about different breeds of umbrellas, 500, Euro 08, and others. So how can we know, or how can we identify that this particular breed we requested for is the same breed that we are getting? Because from my experience now in all these raising of brothers and all these things, so I've had a lot of experience whereby we request for a particular breed, and at the end of the whole day, at the end of the day, we'll just be seeing another result. You get my point now? So how can we get it right? That okay, oh, this is the particular breed. I mean, the particular breed we requested for is the same thing that we are getting. Then the third question is, I'm hearing about you are talking about Afrimash that they can give us the right bed we are seeking for. Are they hatcheries? Thank you very much. And if possible, they are company that do hash. How many? I mean, what type of beds are they hashing? I get
Okay.
you. So because
Okay. You're talking about
presently, yes, presently,
how to examine the health condition of the birds, Abi.
yes.
You can know that by visual inspection when they are moving
Sorry, please.
slowly.
Mr. Elijah, please, once you are done with your question, you can mute your mic. Thank you, so that we can hear our facilitator well. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Go ahead.
When these birds, they are very energetical. You see the way they fly, the way they move. So when they are moving slowly and not interested in eating, not eating or drinking, we know that something is wrong with them. Okay, and another one is swollen feet or legs. You see, you can when their legs are swollen, that means that bird is not feeling okay. Another one is head pulled tightly. When their head is pulled inside of them tightly, okay, they pull their head tightly inside. You know that they are not feeling okay. Or when their wings are hanging, their wings supposed to be tight on their body, but when it's hanging, when it's loose, you know that they are not feeling okay. And or when they are breathing heavily, they are strain in their breathing. You will know that that's not the normal way that birds breathe. For layers, when there's reduced egg production, when there's reduced egg production, you will know that egg, this layer or these birds are not doing fine. Another way to also discover that a bird is not when they are acting sluggishly, sneezing and wheezing, coughing, you know. And another one is cloudy, watering, swollen eyes. When the eyes are swollen and the water is gushing out, of course, you will know that that bird is not okay. Okay. So what you would do is that you will, for some people, out of experience, they know what to do at that time because of they have been able to engage the profession of a vet. Okay, so they know what to do because such a disease has showed up in their poultry before, so they know what to do. But if you are a new beginner, you don't know what to do. You have to go and meet them meet the vet professional so that they can be able to advise you and on what to do. So I've been able to tell you the things that you can see in your beds. You will know that they are not okay. Now, immediately you identify the ones that are not okay. And of course, it will not be all of them. That all of them cannot be sick at the same time. It's also possible. I have seen where a whole poultry, all of them died. All of them, about 5,000 of them died. It's also possible for them to be sick at the same time, died within 24 hours. Even 24 hours is too much. So if it is only few that are affected, you need to separate them. Separate those few and begin to attend to them. Okay, attend to them so that they will not pass the disease to other birds. Now the last one, the second one is how to know if it's aggravated. Eh? Is it the second question?
Yes, I'm talking about the breed. How do we know that it is called
Okay.
500 or?
Now that is why I say that. That's why I say that you must get it from a trusted suppliers, because I've seen where people have bought a broiler and later it was cockerel. They were they were feeding the bird as broiler, feed. Almost 5 months, the broiler is not growing. You see, so that is why you need to get your bird from a trusted supplier. It's all about trust now, and I know that Afrimash representative, they will be here to say more. But I know that you can know that just by trust, just by trust. Okay, just trusting them. They are giving you what you ask for. So Afrimash is a supplier. I think Afrimash, you can come in here and explain yourself more.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Elijah. For the sake of time, for this your question, please, we would like you to see us privately so that we can attend to that question. So let us address the question that surrounds this class. But for your question, we've taken note of it. You're on the community page, I believe.
Of course, I'm there.
All right. So I'm going to tag you or call you out on the community page after this meeting, so that you can reach out to us and then we can discuss with you further about your question.
Oh, okay, let me clear something. The person that asked the last question, you say someone booked some birds and it turned out to be different from what the person asked for. Was it Afrimash? Hello?
Okay, I don't think anybody asked that question.
Okay. I just want to clear that question because he asked such question.
Okay. I don't think anybody asked that question. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Elijah. So moving on, because of our time, Mr. or Mrs. Gift. please can you ask your question? Thank you very much. For those that have sent their question via the chat box, I see you, and we are going to read it out before we leave. So just keep calm. Thank you very much. So, Mrs. Gift, please go ahead with your question.
All right. Good evening. Is a male and not a female.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize. Mr. Gift, please go ahead with your question.
All right. Thank you very much. My question to Mr. Charles is this: when a feed is being touched by water and you quickly dry it without it corroding, can you still feed it to the birds? That is one. And secondly, my second question is between Rose 308 and Cob 500, which one is more immunized against CRD? Those are my two questions.
Okay. The first one is that prevention is better than cure. I would advise you not to allow your feed to be touched by water. Okay, it is very important. That's one of the poultry management. You have to make sure your feed is not mixed up with water, because if it does, anything you're going to do is that you are going to use your flock, your poultry, as a pilot test to know what will happen when water is mixed with your feed and you dry it up. So if you do that now, you will have the story to tell. Either you say it's not good or it's good, or someone can use it or someone cannot use it. So, do you get what I'm saying? So don't just prevent it. Don't get to the point when you begin to use your birds to test whether is it good to feed them with a moldy feed that is dried up on the sun, or is not good. When you begin to use remember, this is investment. This is money that you have invested. So I don't think it's good for you to begin to use your bed as a pilot test for that. So what I will ask you and what I will advise you is that please don't give your birds moody feeds. It's very important. So since you have heard it, just try as much as possible. Don't test run your poultry. Don't test run them with such feed. Your story may be positive, or it may be negative. What if it is negative? What if you feed them and they die? It's possible you also dry it on the sun and you feed them, they don't die. But it's 50-50 now. You don't risk your investment in that way. So the second question is what? Please remind me. Hello.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. The second question is between rows 308 and Cob 500, which one is more immunized against CROD?
It's
Which one can resist CROD the more?
Rose 308. It's Rose 308. It's more resistant to CRD.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, please, for this call, we just have 15 minutes to end this call. So we have to be quick. I don't want it to be that we'll create another link. I want us to end in 15 minutes. I've dropped the link to the survey and I've dropped the links also to our page, community page. So please join ASAP so that you can get a lot of benefit from it. So let's move on to the next person. Mr. Reginald Sajay, please, you can ask your question and please be very fast with it. And also for our facilitator, please let us speed up with the question so that I can read the one in the chat box and then we can round up ASAP. Thank you very much. So Mr. Reginald, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Quickly, I'm just going to ask this question. So my question is going to be like a scenario, then you can just give me the answer to it. So I know you said you can also start small. It does not have to be big. So when you start small, you can start learning from there. So imagine a situation where I don't have space in my house to even build small cage to start small, but I have a land. Can I just like let's say knock a wooden structure and gather and get some beds and start training? I mean, do I really have to have that basic heavy facility and all that? Can I start with like a wooden structure, a wooden house or something like that? I don't know if you get what I mean, Sha. That's just my
Yes,
question.
yes, you can start. As long as you protect the birds from predators and other harmful things around. As long as that place is conducive for them, as long as that place can serve as if it's their natural habitat, it's okay.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. I appreciate
Okay,
you.
okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much. So please let us move to the questions in the chat box so that we can leave ASAP. Okay, so the first question, please, is it advisable to formulate feed for broilers? If yes, what is the required ingredient and proportion for formulation at different stages of growth? That's the
I think
question.
I've treated this thing before. If you are a new and if you are a beginner, you don't need to formulate. Don't formulate any feed. You don't have to formulate any feed. But if you have been somebody who has been in the field for a long time, over time you may have and you may have the formula and start doing your own. Remember, you don't just formulate. There are machines that you need to put in place. So before you talk about formulating your own feed, you must have been an experienced farmer. It's not just saying that it's not just something that, and I can't tell you that look at what you do, look at what you do, look at what you do. That is not what I can tell you. But I want to advise you: if you are a newcomer in this business, please buy already made feed.
All right. Thank you very much for that quick answer. And I believe that the person that asked the question, you've been able to get an answer to your question. So the next one, good evening. I want to ask that how do I raise crockery? I want to believe crockery or cockerel. I want to believe the person asking about cockerel. So the
Okay.
person is asking, how do I raise cockerel? So please, in just 2 minutes, just wrap it up for us. Thank you.
Cockerel most times is for free ranging. It's for free ranging. Cockerel most times is for free ranging. So if you want to raise cockerel, I will advise you to free range. Or because to keep cockerel in a cage for 6 months and be feeding it is capital intensive. So, but if it's doable too, you can do it. It's doable. You can do it. It's a matter of committing enough finance in it. So to raise cockerel is the same way. You brooding time. Then, if they are going to free range, you allow them. Free range means that you will still have a confined area. Okay, free range means that partly they will find their food, and you will also give them food. They will partly, find their own food, and you also give them food. So I will advise that if you want to train cockerel, free range. But if you want to put them in the cage, it's also good. It's okay. It's doable. But cockerel is a free ranging bird.
All right. Thank you very much for that answer. Okay. Another question says that, okay, the same person is saying, my Noila chickens are not laying eggs. So what could be responsible for this person Noila chickens not laying eggs? So in just 1 minute, just hit it on the air. Thank you very much.
Now, are they up to 5 months? Are they also the stage of laying eggs? If they are at the stage of laying eggs, okay, you've done all you make sure that the coop is okay, the pens is okay. Remove the dirt from the coop area, and also serve them fresh water. If you have done this and nothing is happening, meet a vet.
All right.
Maybe
Thank you very much.
there's an impending disease.
Okay. Please, can you come again so that they'll get it?
So maybe there's an impending disease.
All right. So for the person that asked the question, I want to believe you've gotten an answer that if they've reached the stage of laying eggs and you've done everything possible, that means that you need to see a vet, and it could be that it is because of a disease. So thank you very much for that question. All right, so this person is asking that, okay, how can I get Afrimash products in Kafancha, Kaduna State? Like I said, Mr. Almadu, Afrimash delivers nationwide. If you are on the group, please let me know. So I'm going to reach out to you. Afrimash delivers nationwide. If you want if whatever it is you are ordering from us, if you want it in Kaduna, Kafancha, wherever in Nigeria, we get your product to you. So please join the page. I've sent the link to the chat. All right, so we've got just two more questions. So this person asks that, is it advisable to use organic and systemic at the same time? And then the second question, somebody is asking, what is the meaning of CRD? So just tie the two of them together for us. Is it advisable to use organic and systemic at the same time? And please, what is the meaning of CRD? Thank you.
CRD means chronic respiratory disease.
Okay. And chronic respiratory disease.
Yes.
All right. So the first question on the organic and systemic use at the same time.
Okay, let me just say, you mean administering them at the same time or using them for a particular batch of poultry? If administering them at the same time, you cannot be using organic and synthetic at the same time. I mean, at the same time. But you can also use both organic and synthetic for a particular batch. What I mean that you can give organic. The other time you can give synthetic, you can give organic, the synthetic. So it's not advisable to give them at the same time, like you are administering a particular fowl pulse now. Okay, you are also giving an organic remedy at the same time. I don't think it's okay like that. You need to administer one, and next time you can administer. And most of the organic organic remedies, they are not actually too hazardous. Okay, they are like food. Some of them contain vitamin. Some of them are plant extracts, so they are not poisonous. Even if you want to administer two of them, but I will advise that you don't have to administer two of them at the same time. You need to give time. Do this one, then you can try this one next time. So that's my advice.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the question. I want to believe we all have learned a lot today, and sincerely, personally, myself, I also enjoyed the session, which I believe that we all did. So please, just to tell us about this that we are doing, this is just a discussion class, and we really need, and you can see that we are not even bringing external people. We are bringing people from the community to just come and facilitate, so that when you ask these questions, and they know they are able to answer you. Now, maybe you are here, there is something you know about livestock, there's something you know about poultry, and you can, people can ask you questions about it, and then you can talk about it. It's not necessarily teaching. We are not really putting you on the spotlight, because we notice that not everybody, enjoy the spotlight. So we just want you to talk. We just want you to discuss. It's just a discussion among farmers with like minds. So if you know that you can do this, please reach out to me via the community page. Just message the community admin, and you are going to get a response. So maybe you are here, you can talk about goats, you can raise goats, you can raise any livestock at all. That's why it's called Livestock Hour. This discussion is called Livestock Hour. So please spread the word, spread the good news. And if you know that you can take a topic on livestock, please just reach out to me via DM, and then we are going to discuss. You can see that the last two people that have facilitated, they are from the community, right? And we need more of you to talk about livestock. So I want to appreciate everyone for coming. We've dropped the survey form. Please fill the survey form, and the link to the community pages is also in the chat box. So please make sure you do that. Yes, good evening.
I asked a question the other time.